Hi, I'm Damon Mannion, Venda's COO. We live in a mobile world, and responsive web design is the best way to deliver a great mobile experience. And here's how we build best practice responsive web designs at Venda. Mobile, that is radio connections, are slow. Typically, it takes around 2 seconds for a mobile phone to connect to a website. Performance is a design feature which must be baked in from the very start. Simplicity delivers the fastest possible site and the best possible user experience. Image weight is critical to performance, as typically around 70 to 80% of the total page weight is going to be bound up with images. And all the usual web performance tips apply: minimizing the requests, zipping things up, minification, setting the expiry headers, e-tags, and image optimization, etc. And finally, remember that faster sites deliver you higher authority in search engines and also drive higher conversion rates for your customers. So in terms of delivering a great customer experience for the end user, first of all, you must understand how your customers are going to be using your device and interacting with your brands. So the first thing you need to do is to optimize for your customers' behavior. Fully support touch, keyboard and mouse. Use drop-downs, defaults and pre-fill to minimize typing. Avoid the use of flash. Optimize your checkout flow very carefully. Make best use of the space above the fold. And make phones and tablets your primary devices for testing. For smaller devices, getting the customer experience right is very critical, and there are some additional aspects you need to consider. Ensure all tap areas are big enough for fat fingers. Avoid the use of overlay and pop-up windows. Design your menus very carefully and use accordions for best practice. Make Store Locator prominent on small devices and use location services to enable the Find Me function. Use input types to assist devices, for example, popping up only the numeric keyboard for phones. Adhere to contextual conventions. Fit in with the device you're using. Each device has its own character and set of conventions and norms, and the closer you can adhere to those, the better your experience will be on those devices. Our experience has shown us the best way forward with responsive web design is to initially create a style guide and full designs for just the home page. The next key stage is to carefully design the header and the footer and get them working and live and in the browser as soon as possible. And this step will inevitably take you longer than you expect it to take for what you think is such a simple part of the web page. But as the header and footer appear on every single web page, it's vitally important that these elements are correct right from the very start. Ideally, it's best if your designers can work directly in the browsers and have their own website where they can be amending the CSS so they can quickly try out new ideas. As flexibility is so important in a responsive web design, this places an even greater emphasis than usual on communication between the team members. It's critical then that there's a very tight collaboration between the designer, the developer and the brand owner. Best practice we found is to have daily internal scrums between the technical teams, the project managers, etc. and a daily call or even video conference with the end customer to make sure that what you're delivering is what they had in mind. Responsive web design is a mindset change. Things are less well defined, less specific. More flexibility is required, and to manage this you will need a clear design focus, carefully balancing the customer experience, the brand and site performance. You'll need to deliver an iterative approach to the build, delivering and checking alignment often, ideally daily. And you'll need a very close-knit team. Collaboration, communication and trust is critical. Having looked at how we at Venda delivered a best practice responsive web design for Cloggs, let's have a look at the immediate impact it's had on the success of their business. Within 6 weeks, they've seen their organic traffic from Google double. For desktop, they've seen conversion rate improve by 25%. For phones, the conversion rate has improved by 35%. And for tablets, the conversion rate has improved by 66%. If you take one thing away, it's this. Mobile is a paradigm shift. It's disruptive technology. In my opinion, the only winners in the future will be those who embrace mobile and embrace responsive web design.